Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. How we all doing today, guys? Hope everybody's well. Uh, Guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment, share with anybody might help, and particularly if you know you already subscribed, double check because I did notice a couple subscribers. My numbers are low enough I can keep up on them, but I noticed I've lost a couple, and that might be the case. Somebody unsubscribed, or sometimes I notice with channels that I follow, sometimes the I don't know why YouTube will all of a sudden unsubscribe me from somebody and I'll resubscribe. So do me a favor and check, and I appreciate that, guys. We are seeing a little bit of growth, and it means the world to me. It really is very encouraging to me, and I appreciate that, honestly, from my heart. I love you guys. I love doing this. So with that being said, let's get into it, guys. How y'all doing today? All right, so again, I talk about I try to share everything really. Well, not everything, but the majority of the public stuff that I'm doing, and things that happen throughout the course of the day. And so I'm gonna reiterate something I talk about constantly, guys. My life is reborn, and I'm being blessed. Nothing crazy, and it's funny. I get hit with a lot of scammers on the other site because I talk about all the time that I'm being blessed, and I think these people think that means I'm like falling into all sorts of money. And of course, that's not the case. I am starting to save a little bit of money, and I'm working for a lot more than I'm working a lot less, making a lot more, and I'm starting to put a little bit of life together. To me, that's a blessing, guys, because my life was an absolute shit show for decades, right? And I was constantly reacting to things instead of responding to things. I talk about that all the time as well, and then you guys know what I'm talking about, like just the good things that happen to me on a daily basis, just the people that I'm meeting, the experiences that I'm having, the opportunities that I'm getting, like getting that truck for next to nothing is a my friend Doug and I were talking. Hey, I'm doing a lot more. He's actually offering me a lot more work. He actually called me today and asked me, for all his properties, he makes magnets for people's refrigerators for who to call in case of what situation he may have. And he called to make sure that I was okay with him putting my name down under plumbing, heating, and a few other categories, water leaks and things of that nature, which is great. Again, I'm being promoted more in a lot of areas because people want to work with me. As a matter of fact, it's nice to know. He was letting me know that one of his friends who's a police officer that calls to check in so often, called to check in and said, "Hey, I noticed that kid with the gray beard that used to drive the red Ford for Burns' plumbing, Burns Plumbing and Heating. He's now been driving your truck." And Doug was like, "Actually, yeah, the kid's doing amazing. He took some time off, went to rehab, got himself together. I've actually sold him my truck, and I'm helping him start the business." And the cop was like, "You know what? I've actually worked at her mother's house." And she was like, "Oh, he seemed like a great kid." And like that's the thing. I'm getting these great reviews from everybody, and even police are talking about me positively. And what a godsend that is. That's not the case, guys. It's not always been the case. Let me assure you. But I appreciate that greatly today. And these are the things that happen when you surrender to God and you get out of your own way. Like I could have gotten sober, and I've gotten sober in the past. I don't know that it would have helped. Actually, I know it wouldn't have because it never has. Today, I can look you straight in the eye and tell you I will never go back to doing drugs. I like literally that person has been put to death because I've done this through God. And this is why I tell you guys, and again, God, Goddess, Buddha, Allah, Spirit, Universe, whatever you're comfortable with is fantastic. And the more you give to it, the smarter, the better you are. Simple as that. But anybody, any kind of, having a mustard seed of faith will grow you a beautiful plant. You know what I'm saying, guys? So just give it a shot. But so anyway, it's amazing to me how quickly the people's opinions of me have changed, and it's because I'm showing up as this healed, best version of myself, guys. It's one thing, and I encourage anybody to get sober by all means, because your life will absolutely improve. I promise you that, hands down. There's no question of that. But if you're already going that far, and again, when you're coming out of addiction or alcoholism, and you're getting sober, clearly you're making a major life change, right? So you're already disrupting the status quo in your life, right? So now while you're doing that, and literally this is how I was able to do all the things that I'm doing today, because I decided that as long as I'm doing this major life, shake up, let's burn it to the ground and let's start fresh. And I talked about it yesterday, you reinvent yourself. And I decided to honestly, not I portray the words because it's the only form of communication we have as human beings, but I literally take the action, and that's the most important thing, guys. You can tell somebody you're going to do better, and you can mean that, wholeheartedly, but until you start doing better and showing up as that better version of you, nobody's opinion is going to change. You can talk to your blue in the face, but unless you back it up, it doesn't carry the weight. And it's great to set the intention, of course, by all means, but follow it up. Take the action. Ask God for help. When God starts giving you help, meet Him halfway and take action on the opportunities and the things that are being taught and thrown your way. I talk about it constantly, guys. The importance of first of all, forgiveness, right? If you want to start getting on, and the reason I constantly bring this up lately is because I'm going out of my way to help people, because again, people see what I'm doing, they know about my channel, I'm promoting it through talking to different people, and they watch and they're like, yeah, it's great, hey, I know something. Everybody knows somebody that's either it's struggling with addiction or alcoholism. It's just such an epidemic these days. So I'm getting a lot of people referred to me. It's almost like at some point I'm going to have to start a coaching or counseling service, but this is my thing for the time being. But literally, and I love that. Like, I love that people see that I'm doing it well enough and I'm being like asked to help other people, and that's literally what I'm all about, and I absolutely love doing it. But at the same time, it's very frustrating when somebody comes and says, I need help, and then they absolutely fucking refuse to do anything. And you can't come day after day with the same sob story if you're not willing to do something. And I'll give anybody to point you in the right direction. But you can't, if you're just looking, and again, if you need a shoulder to cry on, then that's fine, you need a shoulder to cry on. But it doesn't matter who that person is. If you keep saying the same thing day in and day out, and then they're offering advice and help, and you're refusing the help, and you won't get out of your own way, and you won't make a change, and you keep going back to the same thing, and it's not a physical addiction, it's a choice, people are going to get frustrated with that. And even myself, I get frustrated with it. And the thing is, today, I will literally tell you straight up, this is how it is. If you don't do these things, this is what's going to happen now. Because now I'm not going to sit there and just let you look at the picture you're dealing with now. I'm going to make you look at what's going to happen tomorrow if you don't change. Because you came to me for help. Okay? You've got to be willing. And everybody should want help. And everybody should get help. But you've got to be willing to meet somebody halfway and take action for yourself. You and only you have the power to let go, to make changes, and then to move forward. And it starts with finding a higher power. Again, I think it is. If you want great results, you literally find your higher power, develop a relationship with your higher power. Forgive yourself and forgive anybody else. You can't carry around resentment actively and go anywhere with it. You've got to let that baggage go. You cannot climb a ladder with an 800-pound gorilla on your back. I say it every fucking day. And because it's the truth. Like, literally, guys, it is so important and it is so freeing. Once you start to clear that shit out, you make room for good things in your life. And sometimes I know how hard it is, because literally, guys, when I was stuck, I did not see a way out. And even though I'd been to rehab before, I didn't see a way out. But I'm telling you, when I said try these things, when I started praying, and again, I was not a big believer when I started praying, but it made me a believer because of the reaction that I got, the change in my life, the change in my heart, the change in my mind, the way I think, and what I want. Like that. Changed, right? And for the better. I mean, 1,000,000,000 times better. It is real, and it works when you come from the heart and you're willing to let something happen. You've got to at least be willing to allow change to happen in your life. If you're holding on to misery for dear life, you're going to get nothing but misery. I'm sorry to tell you, but that is reality. Now, with that being said, right? Learn to stop letting go, or at least be willing to let go. And a good way to start getting over these things, guys, and again, I know some of the things that happen to us are very difficult to talk to with other people. If you don't have somebody in your life that you can talk to wholeheartedly, that wants better for you, that will listen to you outright, then talk to God. Even if you have no relationship with God, God will love you for coming and asking Him, right? So literally, find a prayer. Go look online. If you don't know any prayers, I mean, usually most people know some prayer, but if you don't know any prayer, say a prayer. Find a prayer. Look one up online. There's 1 million on YouTube. There's 1 million anywhere. Say a prayer, and then just start talking honestly to God. God, this is my situation. I can't seem to get over this. Or so, blah, blah, blah. Whatever is happening, right? Explain it. Now, after you do that, I'm sorry, let me back up a little bit. First of all, say a prayer, and then say to God, God, I'm sorry, I've not had faith. I want to learn faith. I'm inviting you into my heart, and I'm inviting you into my life. This is what I have going on. And explain the situation and ask Him. Oh, I'm sorry, before you ask Him, and after you explain the situation, stop for a minute and look where you might have accountability for that, and apologize. Say, God, I'm sorry. You know what? I did this, or I allowed this, or we always have some sort of accountability, guys. It's a hard thing to say, and I'm not calling you out But if you literally want to start getting better, you've got to find your accountability, and it's not about being held accountable. It's about you understanding the actions that you took, or the feelings you had, or the or the lack thereof that allowed the situation to get out of control. Right? That's all it is, guys. It's just identifying it so you can change it and start to get better. Same person's called me 10 times. Call me again right now, and I'll call her back when I'm done. But simple as that. I already explained I was doing something. And anyway, I'm not going to let it throw me off track. I will get back. But again, it's about finding where you're accountable so that you can start to heal those things. And I'm not saying like hold. And again, here's the other thing: when you find yourself accountable, do not go into a goddamn guilt spiral. You're trying to identify it so that you can release it. Okay? Forgive yourself and let it go. And the best way to do that is to say, hey, say it to God, but then move on, let it go. Try to do something differently tomorrow. Take any help. Now again, after you pray and you ask for help, pay attention to your thoughts and feelings, and do this repeatedly. Try doing it. I would suggest morning and night for whatever. We'll just give it a shot. But as you start doing these things, pay attention to the thoughts and feelings, because the answers you're going to get are going to come into your head. You're going to get these little intuitive nudges. You're going to suddenly, if any feeling that you suddenly get that's positive, or a new direction, or different than your normal things, that is God answering you. And now you've got to act on these things. And again, it's okay if it takes some time to let it build up. Keep coming at things. Like for me, it took months, guys. It took months. So I'm like, you know what? All right, I have to do it. My life going forward is more important than showing up at work tomorrow morning. If I get replaced at that job, then fine. Like, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, your sanity, your happiness is the most important thing. Jobs can be replaced. Relationships can be replaced. You cannot be replaced, okay? Not by yourself, okay? You gotta make you the most important thing. You gotta understand, at the end of the day, you are the most important thing to you, and you have to be. You can't put anything else in front of yourself if you want to do better. And here's the thing, guys. When you do these things, it takes time. But months down the road, you're going to suddenly be this new, improved 2.0 version of yourself that is kicking ass, and you're going to be so much more help to everybody else that you care about. You're going to be able to provide so much more to people that you love and that you're trying to provide for now. You're going to be able to do so much more for them when you start getting all this bullshit, all this baggage out of your system. You have to do it, guys. Again, you know what? I don't know why I write stuff down. I write it down to put myself in the train of thought, and then I just flow from the heart, because this is what I've done, and I go by my experience. But yeah, we all make mistakes, guys. Apologize to yourself, apologize to God, but start making changes. That is the most important things, and they can be baby steps, guys. They can absolutely be baby steps, but as you do these things, I'm telling you, if you want a better life, do these things. They will give you a better life, and they're going to give you a better life. It's funny, I remember hearing back in the early days, I go back now, and I'm like, second to none, and beyond your wildest dreams, and I'm like, it was just like, yeah, right, if I can just get sober, I'll be happy with that, right? Because that's where I was at. I was still very, very much unhealed at that point, and I was in a dark place. And guys, I'm, in another week or so, I'll be coming up on 90 days, right? And that's a drop in the bucket. That's a tiny, tiny piece of time, and I'm proud of the time that I have. And if it wasn't for the one mistake that I made coming out of rehab, I'd have, 120. But again, that's perfect. And I only bring that up to let you guys know, even as amazing as I'm doing right now, I still made mistakes, man. I still relapsed the day I got out of rehab. But fortunately, I was able to arrest it. I got out of myself. I think I told you, if you guys haven't seen the video, what happened was I got out of rehab and I was cleaning my house that night, and I found a rock of coke, rock of crack, and I literally threw it in a pipe and took a hit of it, like literally out of second nature. I literally just left my doctor's office. I got out of rehab, went right to the doctor's, come home. Wasn't home for an hour, and I'd taken a hit of crack, and I'm like, oh my God, what did I just do? And it really broke my heart. I was so positive, and I've been feeling so good. How could I let that happen? So I'm like, I gotta get out of the house. I walked out of the house. I walked across the street, and there ended up being a girl in the gas station over there that was going to get a drink, soda, that needed help. And I ended up, giving her directions first, and then it was cold, so she was walking, so I offered her a ride. And then I heard the story, realized she was locked out of her keys were locked in her car, half a mile up the street. She was going to walk 4 miles down the road to a client and hope they were home and hope they had AAA. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, I thought I had AAA. My AAA had expired. And I'm like, you know what? I'm a mechanic. I could literally break into your car for you and get you into the car. And she's like, oh my God, right? Like perfect pairing. God put her in my life and me and hers, because we could help each other. And literally, that was like, she was like sitting there thanking me, and I'm like, no, honestly, I'm like, you're doing me a bigger favor than I'm doing you. Like, you, and I literally stopped and told her, I said, well, here's the deal, I got out of rehab today, and I just made a mistake, and I'm feeling really bad. And the best thing for me right now is helping somebody else. It got me out of my head. And I get home, and I let go of the guilt of the mistake that I just made, and I felt fucking amazing. And it dawned on me right then and there. I'm like, this is what I'm looking for. Like, God will give, this is the things that will give you the answers. Because at that point, I was trying to figure out what mattered to me. I was sitting there literally going, what is it in life that I want to chase? What do I want to, I got to have something here. What do I care about? And literally, boom, that happened. I'm like, I care about helping people. And that's what got me that I started this YouTube channel the next day or the day after that, literally. And guys, this is what I've based everything off of, and everything else I've just been following the intuitive nudges that God gives me. I haven't really gone out of my way making any plans. I've just taken every day, one day at a time, and said, okay, what makes sense today? Look at the lessons today, and see what direction I'm being pointed in. And by doing so, I've gotten out of my way, and I'm on this meteoric rise to happiness and fulfillment and joy and building a life that I wasn't capable of, because I literally didn't know what the fuck I wanted or what to do. But I was praying, and I was asking God for help, and look at the way it happened. Like, literally, He showed me through people around me, through interactions. But here's the thing, guys. I was paying attention, and I was willing to take chances, and I was willing to take leaps of faith, and I was willing to act on what happened. And boom, like, again, I'm not balling by any means, but I've got a peace of mind and a peace of soul that I've never had in 50 years of life. I've got a zest for life that I haven't felt since I was a teenager, and I've got I've got a knowledge that I'm gonna actually make something of myself, and I'm gonna make up for all this lost time. And I have no fear, I have no anxiety, I have no animosity, I have no problem forgiving myself for the mistakes I made, because now I'm using all that pain and all that trauma and all that shit I went through to help other people, and to show an example of what you can overcome and what you can do. And that's like the most amazing thing, guys. This is the difference when you do it in God. Like, literally, this is what He'll do for you. This is what He's done for me, and it's like, literally, everybody I know has taken notice of it at this point, and people are just, getting behind me to help me. And again, there's always the jealous person here or there that wants to knock you off your pedestal. And I enjoy that too, because you know what? You got to have a little bit of fun in life, and there's nothing I enjoy more than succeeding and watching assholes get pissed off about it. You know what I mean? Like, that just encourages me to go further, and eventually they'll catch on to, or whatever, they'll get their karma. It doesn't matter. I can only control what I can control, and I don't let those things bother me anymore. I have more people backing me than I have against me, and I'm cool with that. You're always gonna you're always gonna have a little bit of both. It's nice to have more good than bad. Again, these videos starting to get a little bit long because I'm starting to enjoy it, and I think it's a good message, guys. But seriously, if that's where you're at, please give it a shot, guys. Really, honestly. And if anybody else watching just support me, thank you so much. But you know what? If you know somebody that's having trouble, share the video, man. Again, check your subscriptions. Please subscribe. Please help me grow this thing. But more than anything, remember always, God loves you. I love you. You are worth it. Give yourself a shot. Do better. And even if things are great, help somebody else around you. It never hurts you. No matter how good your life is, you can always use more blessings. We all can. And the best way to do that is to walk with God and help other people. Okay? God loves you. I love you. Thank you. We'll see you in the next one.